This is Behind the Design by Mukewater Outfitters. I'm Marshall Thornhill. I'm the founder of Mukewater Outfitters, and this is my sidekick, Mason. We pretty much go everywhere and do everything together, so he has kind of become the company mascot. When I started this store, I wanted something that would immediately grasp a large amount of attention. And being here in Lubbock, being a former Texas Tech alumni, I knew I had about 65,000 fans when I went to Jones Stadium. So I immediately was gravitated towards doing some sort of game day collection, something to wear to Jones Stadium. I looked at what Signature Stag was doing and what Josh Abbott was doing with Sideline Swagger, and really loved the idea that they were sort of playing off the different vibes of Texas Tech without basically copying a logo or anything like that. So they used the guns up hand and symbol, and I thought that was really cool. So I wanted to do something that was a little bit different. I have a great friend. He's a very dear friend of mine. His name's Billy Smith. He was a Raider Red when he was here. He was a saddle tramp, and is a huge fan of Raider Red still. He has a tattoo of him and always taking pictures with him and things like that. So immediately I thought about Raider Red. So I obviously didn't want to infringe on any trademarks or things like that. So I tried to take that design and make it my own. So I drew what I called Partner. It took a long time. I drew it on paper and redrew it and played trash can basketball quite a bit, but came up with basically what you see now. I fell in love with it. It was simple enough to say it was Texas Tech or say that you were a Red Raider fan without, having to go through all of that trademarking and things like that. So I ran with it. Again, I called him Partner up to that point. He became a member of our family. We talked about him nonstop around the house and just came to be known as Partner because he was my partner. I redesigned it in digitally and kind of started running with it. And so we launched our first couple of items, and the feedback was, I was overwhelmed by the feedback. I just posted some things on our Facebook page, and it just took off. So obviously that also gets the attention of some of the bigger people in the university. So I kind of used some of my contacts that I had when I worked there. I used to work in the athletic department for Texas Tech. I spoke to a former colleague who's in charge of the licensing, and she loved the logo, but she said, it is really, really close to Raider Red. So anyway, she said, it looks an awful lot like Raider Red, and I did say respectfully, I understand that, but there are some things that I changed, and I drew this myself, so it's not something that I just copied and pasted. So anyway, we came to an understanding that I would go through the licensing process and she would help me kind of jump through the hoops and go through all of that. So it was about a 6-month process, but here we are. We're now licensed by the university. So now you can call him Raider Red if you want, but to me, he's still Partner. It is a licensed product. You'll find the NCAA seal on all of our game day apparel. Still our flagship product. It's one of our best-selling collections. Everybody seems to love it. Anytime we put something out, it's immediately sold out and back ordered, and I always think I'm going to make enough this time and still continue to sell out. But it's one of our best-selling products, and it's probably one of the reasons that people know Mukewater Outfitters in Lubbock and in the Texas Tech alumni world. I have a big vision, a big dream of helping others, and specifically, I have a heart for the homeless. There's no specific reason. I didn't grow up homeless or poor. I was very blessed with my childhood. I just gravitate towards the homeless population, and I feel like God has led me to want to help them. The only difference between me and that homeless person there on the corner was that I had a support system around me that was able to pick me up, brush me off, pat me on the butt, and give me another chance. They had some misfortunes and they just didn't have the opportunity to, get back on their feet. So I have a heart to help them, and I have a vision of that this company will one day be on a one-to-one business model so that every shirt that we sell a shirt will be provided to the homeless community and help them get back on their feet and give them a nice quality t-shirt or a polo or something like that to wear to a job interview and give them a second chance. With that vision, I wanted to make that statement in every single thing that we do through Mukewater Outfitters. One day, the verse Luke 14:14 came to me, and so Luke 14:14 says, "And you will be blessed, even though they cannot repay you, you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous." So it really spoke to me because those are the people that I want to help, the people that will never be able to repay us, and that's not the goal. I don't want to give a handout and hope that I'll get something back from them one day. My goal is to be able to spread joy in the fact that we get to help someone else, provide a shirt for that homeless person that's trying to get back on his feet after a breakup, or maybe he kicked a drug habit, but he had lost everything from it. Doesn't matter what it is. I hope that we can provide a polo that will help him, look clean and look sharp in a job interview, that will help start his second life, his second chance. That's kind of the idea behind Luke 14:14. So when you see it in the back of your shirt, that's what it stands for. And just know, I pray over every single item that goes out of our stores. When I finish decorating it, I pray over every single piece. And I just pray that the person that puts that shirt on gets God's best for them, that God touch them and touch their lives in the exact moment that they need it, and that he provides his best for that person that touches our shirt. So every time you put on a Mukewater Outfitters shirt, just know that there's a little extra blessing in it. So that's it for this week's episode of Behind the Design. Mason's out. I'm close to out. But make sure you check back with us next week for our episode. We're going to talk about the 806 collection that we designed about Lubbock and Lubbock's culture, and our college collection. I'm excited to talk to you guys about it. Cheers.